Hey everyone, Darren again. If like me you love having fun with green screens, but you're not fortunate enough to have one set up at home, I'm going to take you through a really cool way that you can still be creative and have a play around with green screens using Wevideo and Appsmashing with Google Drawings. So let's take a look and have a little bit of fun with the polyline tool. Okay, so the first step of this process is to start with Google Drawings. So we're going to go into Drive first of all. I'm going to go to New, to More, and then to Google Drawings. And I'm going to open up just a blank Google drawing here. Okay, now because Google Drawings quite low res, what I tend to like to do is to go a little bit larger with my page setup, just to give myself a little bit more leeway. And so here we've got a standard sort of A4 size, 25 by 4 by 1905. So what I tend to do is make that slightly different and just move the decimal point along one and make an apply that change. And that gives me a much larger canvas. Okay, now this is a transparent background, so what I'm going to do, I'm now going to insert an image on here that I'd like to use with some green screen fun. So I've got a few saved already to my desktop. So the first thing I'm going to use is an outdoor cinema. So I'm going to bring in that picture, and you can see it's quite small, but I'm just going to stretch it. Okay, you can go away and find larger ones, but this one's not too bad. And then I'm just going to shrink the edge of the canvas just to fit that exactly. So I've now got my outdoor cinema screen, okay, and my scene that I want to use. The next thing I'm going to do is to create the green screen option with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to select the polyline tool. And the polyline tool allows me to start in one particular place and draw a shape. So I just trace the edge of the screen. And when I join back up to my starting point, it turns it into a shape. And as you can see there, it auto fills that. Now what I want to do is to make sure that I've got the correct fill color for that screen. Now it doesn't have to be green, but blue works just as well, but green is ideal. So one of the things you can do is you can just ask for the chroma key green codes if you want to. Chroma key green, there we go. And you've got the option here to just kind of click on it, but people might ask for the hex key and things like that. It's entirely up to you. Or you might, like I do sometimes, have used something like eyedropper as an extension, where you can just click and you can choose your chroma key, and that's the one we're looking for. Hashtag 01B140. So that's your standard chroma key. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to close that window down altogether. I'm going to come to my shape here. Oops. Use my shape, make sure it's highlighted, and I'm going to come to my fill color. I'm going to go to custom. I'm just going to change that hex code for the green screen chroma key, and there we go. Okay, I can change the edge as well if I want to, just to make it stick out. So there I've got my screen ready to go. So I'm going to call this one Outdoor Cinema Green Screen. Make sure that's right. And then I'm going to download this, there we go, as a PNG image, okay, or as a JPEG, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to download this as a PNG. So I've got my first example there. What I'm going to do next is exactly the same thing again, but this time I'm going to use a different picture. So I'm just going to delete that now and delete this out of here and bring in something else. So I've always wanted a Jamboard, but I know I can't afford one. They're a lot of money, but why not make my own? Okay, so one of the things I could do is import one or go and find one. So I can come here to insert image, and I can search the web and see if I can find a nice picture of a Jamboard. Okay, now nothing jumping out at me there, so I might need to go and have a look elsewhere just to see if I can get a better image. That's obviously taken me to Jamboard by mistake. typical. Okay, so I want a Jamboard. I'd like an image of a Jamboard, and I want to choose one. Yeah, that one's quite nice. So I'm just going to save that image, okay, as a Jamboard to my desktop, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. So I'm going to insert that image now from my desktop, bring in that Jamboard, size it how I want it. Slightly different, this one, as we can see. Just adjust the screen or the canvas size to fit. There we go. And once again, I grab the polyline tool. Because I used it last time, it's already selected. And I just choose to go around the edge of my Jamboard screen. And I can do exactly the same thing here. And then I can select the drop down and the custom color, and also do the edge as well if I'd like to, just to take that blue edge off of it. And then I can call this one Jamboard Green Screen and download that as well. Okay, so I've now got 2 green screens. I'm going to do one further one, which I'd like to play around with. So I'm just going to get rid of that and get rid of that and just insert one more that I've got saved and ready to go. And that is a spaceship screen, okay? Because you can really do anything. You could do the windscreen of a truck, could be anything you like, okay? So again, I'm just going to make sure this fits. So here we might be in a situation where we're looking and thinking, okay, we're looking out of a spacecraft window, and this here is actually going to be doubling as a TV screen so that, you know, the person from the other craft appears on screen, for example. So again, we grab our poly tool, and this time, oops, went a bit wonky there. There we go, grab the poly tool. And, you know, you might want to go around the edges like this. So you can play around with it a little bit so that it appears. There we go. And when we come back to the beginning, here we go. So we just go through, we change it to our chroma key. We can change the edge as well. And this time we can call this one Spaceship Green-Screen. And again, download that as a JPEG. So we've now created these particular items that we're going to use. So what we do now is we jump into Wevideo. Okay, and I'm going to go to Media on Wevideo, and I'm going to upload some media, those images that I've just downloaded. So it's offering me the option to go with my downloads. There's my outdoor screen, there's my Jamboard, and there's my spaceship. So I'm going to upload all of those into Wevideo. I could put them in a particular folder if I wanted to, but I'm not going to worry at this stage, although it's a good idea to keep all your green screen material together. So what I could do is create a folder and call it green screen. Okay, create that, and then I can move these folders, these files, to that green screen folder. So just click and move to green screen. There we go, and do the same with that one. Move green screen. So I know that all of my green screen files are in my green screen folder. Okay, so now if I wanted to make a video, I can just click on video here. I might want to make it in my green screen folder. Let's just remove those from the bottom there. And with our green screen, the most important thing to remember is that it works in layers. So our green screen goes over the top of something else we want. So when we bring in our green screen, we want to put it into video layer 2 at the very least. So if we do it with the Jamboard, first of all, bring in the Jamboard, and I can stretch that out as much as I like. There's 30 seconds worth of jamming there. And all I need to do is to double click onto the image itself and come up here to the color keying option. And all I've got to do is pick up that eyedropper, select and take it away, and then save changes. Okay, now anything I put under there in video 1, whether I record it myself or whether it's stock media, will then show on the screen. So for example, if I was to record my own, let's use some stock media. So if I wanted, for example, somebody running, see what we can find in the way of video. There we go, man running fast on a park road, or group of people running. Let's put those in there. Okay, I'm just going to double that up so we can put it in twice, and we can just play around with that a little bit. There we go. We've got the people running, and when we play it, we can see that the people are on screen and we're watching them running on our Jamboard when we preview. Okay, now if we don't like them running that slowly, we can click on here. We can change the speed if we want, so we can go to double or even triple speed if we like, but obviously you should do the same with the other one. So triple speed, maybe a little bit too much, there we go. And obviously that speeds up the clip, so we can then shrink our Jamboard to fit, or we might want something else to come on screen after them. But here's our example now, okay? So we can come back to the start and just click the play button to preview, and there they go, all off on their park run or something along those lines, okay? So nice and simple, easy way to use that green screen. That's using the Jamboard. I can now bring in my second screen. So let's bring in the outdoor cinema. Okay, I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit. Now, obviously, in this case, that cinema is quite a way away. So we might want to enlarge the screen a little bit by double clicking and just changing the scale by just increasing it slightly and maybe moving it slightly into a better picture there. Okay, but we've still got our green there. So again, double click, go to the chroma key, the little man, pick up the dropper, take out the screen, and save the changes. Okay, we can then go back to our stock media, and this time round, we might want something different. So maybe we've got, I don't know, some dogs. Let's see what we've got here. A bunch of Australian cattle dogs, for example. So let's pop those in there. We'll just shrink the video screen, whoops, to the same size. There we go. And what we should have now is, as we transition, we can put a transition in there to make it smooth. Just drag those in. As we transition from the Jamboard to the outdoor screen, there we go. We've suddenly got the dogs playing. It's and that's slightly out. So let's get rid of that there. Here we go. And just move the dog along slightly. There we go. Okay. So we've got the people running on the Jamboard. Then we move to the dog running around in the park. Okay. And finally, we want to bring in that last piece of media that we created. So we come back to My Media and we can bring in our Spaceship Green-Screen. Okay. And we can have people looking down on us. And we might want somebody coming in on that screen. So again, double click, pick up the eyedropper, take out that screen. Okay, that might be the right sort of size for us, but if it's not, we can come back and we can change the scale a little bit and zoom in a little bit more and click change. Then we come back to our stock media, and it might be, for example, a politician. I don't know. Let's see what we've got. Oop. Politician dogs is a strange one. There we go. We've got politicians in politics, yeah, government called person. That'll do. Let's pop him in there, and he is going to appear now like he's on screen on the spaceship. There we go. So he's now on screen on our spaceship. So we've created our own green screen opportunities without needing to have a green screen. But do remember as well, in your stock media in Wevideo, if you just type in green screen, they've also got a load of ready-made clips in there for you. So a guy working on a MacBook, you can have a close-up of a dove, you can have other people if you don't want to be in the videos for yourselves, curtains and things like that, lots of different options. But obviously, a lot of fun can be had as well, making them for yourselves. So that's how you can Appsmash Google Drawings with Wevideo to have fun with green screens. Enjoy.